Yo, KRS fans! Today we are gonna do Ketu in the sign of Libra. So, sign of Libra and Ketu. And yeah, I'm shooting this on Sunday and I'm sitting down because man, it was one hammering night last night. Because even after, I shut the camera off, me and my wife, we decided to drink a little bit more. So anyway, Ketu in the sign of Libra. And what happens when Ketu comes into the sign of Libra in your horoscope? Well, what is the sign of Libra? Sign of Libra represents connecting with other people. It's having relationship with other people because it's a sign ruled by Venus. It's about sharing agreements with other people. It's about legal bindings, and not just from marriage perspective, but also like you get into a legal partnership and open up a corporation with your best friend. That's in a way a legal partnership. In a way it's a legal marriage. Both of you are responsible for that entity called the corporation. And Libra also represents, creative talent, designing. It's about artistic skills, because again, it's ruled by the artistic Venus. But mainly, Libra, it's about union. It's about legal bindings. It's about business and trade because it originally represents the seventh house of the astrological chart. So then you bring Ketu here, the south node of the moon, and Ketu is about detachment. It's about letting go of, material attachments and material emotional attachments and any kind of attachments. Ketu are the things that you have already accomplished in your past life, and the only reason why they are present in this life is just so you can fall back on them when everything fails. So like how everything fails and you go back to the source. You go back to being who you were, okay? And that's what happens with the Ketu. When things fail, you rely upon Ketu to save you. And then again, you get frustrated because Ketu is there saying, no, I'm not going to be saving you. Even though you're falling back, you still have to go towards Rahu and really try to fight off this karmic ordeal and achieve your goals that you need to achieve in this life. So Ketu is that person that just wants to be in an isolated place, loves meditation, loves meditating, loves living the life of a yogi, and it doesn't really care for any worldly achievements. So when this planet and the sign of Libra comes into play, it's pretty simple. There is a lot of dissatisfaction in relationships. There's a lot of dissatisfaction in legal bindings. Okay, so wherever this planet is sitting, whether it's the 7th house, 6th house, 5th house, you will tend to find dissatisfaction regarding forming relationship in those houses. Like if Ketu is in the sign of Libra in the 3rd house, how the relationship needs to be handled with your siblings because the 3rd house represents siblings. However, because you do not really have an egoistic attachment of being the best sibling and having the best relationship with the sibling to prove to the world that you can coexist with your co-born, you really just don't care whether the relationship is good or bad. You're not out there putting forth an effort on the relationship. You just probably don't even care because of the fact Ketu brings very weird, in a bad way, very weird circumstances in your life whenever you try to deal with them. So as much as you wanted to work things out with your sibling, yet your sibling committed a murder and now he's a felon or a convict. And because of that black spot, no matter what you do, you will always look at that sibling as like, oh my God, you're a felon, you're a convict. Or they raped somebody and so, oh my God, you're a rapist. Am I really dealing with you? And so as much as you try to, when everything fails, you go back home and you see that sibling, again, there's a dissatisfaction. Even if you want to fall back on those things, there's a dissatisfaction. Same thing, if for an Aries ascendant, if Ketu is in the 7th house, that means it's in the sign of Libra and in the 7th house of marriage. So there's a lot of dissatisfaction from marriage. There's a lot of disagreements in the marriage. You run into the most awkward situations in marriage that you cannot believe that they are existing in your life. And those experiences in relationship makes you want to just not go towards marriage and relationship. You think marriage is a, it's an institution, or it's jail. It's letting go of the freedom, because the way you experience things, you might had married an alcoholic or a druggie, or you found out this person was a rapist, this person was a molester. So very awkward and weird things that you experience in the seventh house things, and that just, you don't want to have anything to do with legal partnerships or business partnerships or anything. You just want to be by yourself. You want to rely on yourself, because Rahu is in the first house. So that's what Ketu does. As much as you have mastered the art of relationship, you know exactly what it takes to deal in a relationship, but because of the Ketu type people that run into your life, you don't want to deal with that. Like Ketu in this Libra in the 8th house, you will get the most awkward in-laws. Your relationship with the in-laws will be like, oh, well, it's okay, but I really do not want my mother-in-law to be coming. Well, in that case, I think every guy might have Ketu in the sign of Libra in the 8th house. But you get my point with that. Wherever it's placed. In the 10th house, you have this detachment with your coworkers and your bosses. Like you want to be left alone. Yet you cannot be left alone, because Ketu brings you into a circumstance where you have to deal with other people, where you have to work in a teamwork, and you just can't stand that. So these are the things that Ketu does. He'll always make you want to, he'll always try to frustrate you and beg you for the goodness from that house, goodness from that sign. Like in the 7th house, you'll beg for a right spouse, but you won't get it unless there's a benefic aspect of Jupiter on the 7th house, or Venus is sitting there. Okay. So guys, this is my analysis of Ketu in the sign of Libra. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your south node of the moon Ketu is placed, and what sign and aspects it's receiving, and conjunctions, and the meaning of those conjunctions, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light and Conjunctions at the Speed of Light. And when you get these books, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Just make sure you follow the directions below at the link. Otherwise, we'll see you next time with Ketu in Scorpio. Bye-bye.